¿A dónde está papi?
Welcome to the Sunday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Sunday. Hey, Bleep Blop Ben, thank you so much for the raid.
Wow,
Welcome, everybody.
already?
Welcome, everybody. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the follow button. You do get 5 free emotes, and click on the icon so that your view gets counted. Thank you so much, Bleep Blop Ben, for leaving your wonderful community here. How's everybody doing?
We hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday fun day.
It is Sunday. It is Funday. Let me make sure. Yep, there we go. All right. So if I did everything correct, everybody should be able to hear me just fine. Oh, we're mirrored. Why does it always switch when I try to set up the camera? It's always mirrored so that you can't read this. It's backwards.
It's a setting on your phone.
Yeah, but it
probably.
always switches it back.
Yeah, but you should check it every time.
Hold on, folks.
Sounds like Android problems.
No, it's the
'Cause my phone does not do that. Okay, today's challenge. I only use rare crew who are alien or part alien. Oh, fuck. Hell. Alright. We gonna give it a try.
Alright. That should be much better, I think. At least that should be in the right way. I hope. How's everybody doing?
You would think we would know how to do this by now.
What? No. There's always going to be a... You're not a pro streamer unless you have like technical difficulties, unless you don't have your settings correct, if you mess up your scenes. Like that's the whole point. You're not a pro streamer until those things happen. Constantly and in every stream. At least...
No.
Oh no, what happened?
I can't do this challenge. I don't have any alien medical officers.
What challenge are you doing today in
It's just one of the missions that I have to go on, and it has the added challenge to it of only being able to use alien or part alien crew members, and I have everybody but the medical officer, so I really don't think I can win this way.
Do you have to do it that way, or?
I'm pretty sure. I'm about to see what happens if I don't. I mean, I have enough points to lose that I can afford to try. I just can't believe this. Shoot. I don't think this is...
Hey, here's an interesting poll. 57% of voters say investigations into Trump should continue. So the majority of the country, or the majority of voters, I should say, agree that it should continue.
It doubled the difficulty for the rest of the challenges. There's no way I can win this.
No. Oh no.
It doubled the difficulty for the rest of the challenges because I didn't have the right crew member for the first one.
Well, good luck.
I already know I'm not gonna win. But I'm here, so I must continue.
I mean, what happens if you lose? Do you lose just points or?
Pretty much. I'll lose them if I back out, though, so. Well, guys, it's been real. They just got doubled again.
For those of you that don't know, what's going on here is that she's playing Star Trek something. I forget the
Timelines.
timelines. Okay, Star Trek timelines. And the current mission doesn't seem to be going so well.
What's that noise?
What?
What's that noise?
The AC maybe? Oh, maybe she put the dehydrator on.
Oh. Okay.
Maybe it's something else. I don't know. Like that hum?
Yeah.
I don't know.
RIP. I tried, fam.
How bad was it?
It was bad.
Oh no.
It's alright. It was the thought that counted, right? Stop trying to sell me stuff. Okay. Oh, I should mute this. I just realized this is playing sound.
Really?
Yeah, but it was really low.
Oh. Is it playing? No, I can't play the sounds through your headphones, right?
Nope. Inspiring xenoanthropology empath. Uh-huh. Okay, select my team. Who the frick am I gonna pick for this?
Let me check one thing.
You can check 2 things. I won't tell anyone.
Excellent. All right.
Where'd
The
you
sound
go?
is fine. Good to hear. Okay. I think we're good.
Did you break the stream already? It's a little early.
No. I think we're good. Did you have to restart the mission?
Oh, I'm not even gonna try. I don't have the right people for it.
How do you get the right people?
Without paying, you hope.
Oh, you hope. Okay, so you're playing the lottery.
Mhm. And I don't think I have the right people for this other thing either. Frick, I do not. Oh, hell. Like, not even close. This is bad.
I was listening to the Bernie public rally. There was a Bernie rally. What was that about? I wasn't even aware of that. Oh, this was in Philadelphia. Yeah, for workers' rights. That's right. I'm looking at the that article here. Amid a growing revitalized labor movement, in Philadelphia, Senator Bernie Sanders is rallying with union leaders in the city on Saturday to support workers demanding better pay and working conditions. In an interview with WHY News, Sanders shared the rally's message: the time is now for working people to stand up, organize, and fight for their rights and take on very powerful special interests who think this country belongs just to them. The rally at Independence Hall Visitor Center follows a surge of historic labor wins at Amazon, Starbucks, and in small businesses in Philadelphia, especially coffee shops. 5 Philadelphia Starbucks have unionized, and service workers formed Local 80, a union within Workers United that is planning to organize small coffee shops around the city. Nice. Another local union is fighting on Saturday. School District of Philadelphia workers on Local 32 BJ voted to authorize a strike 1 week after students are set, or 1 week before students are set to return for the fall. An estimated 2,000 union members, bus drivers, mechanics, building cleaners, and engineers say their demands for fair pay and training from the district have not been met. Nice. So Bernie Sanders is going in there to rally support for these workers in Philadelphia. Nice.
Oh, wow.
Now that is somebody who gives a crap.
I got to meet him when I was in high school.
Hmm?
I got to meet him when I was a freshman in high
Oh
school.
yeah? Nice. Nice. We have a deluge of worker strikes over here in the UK. Nice. It makes sense. Philadelphia is also a very prime state to make moves on, especially with the Senate. Nope. No cigar.
Oh. Yes! 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 Cigar!
Did you get the character that you needed?
I did.
Who did you unlock?
I needed an empath and I got Deanna Troy.
Nice.
She will do just fine. Ooh, and I got Riker. I'm spending money today, guys. Not money like my money, but money I earned in the games. And a good pilot? Alright, I'm gonna roll the dice one more time just because I feel like 3. Yep. It was worth it.
Nice.
Oh. Okay. Alright. I gotta stop before I get in trouble.
We do have a small update on what's going on in the Georgia investigation for election fraud. An appeals court has temporarily paused an order requiring Senator Lindsey Graham, to appear before the Atlanta grand jury. A federal appeals court on Sunday, so this just happened, temporarily paused a district court's order requiring Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina to appear before a grand jury, probing plots to illegally influence the 2020 election results in Georgia. The 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals sent the proceedings around Fulton County grand jury subpoena back to the district court judge, with the instructions that the judge consider whether the subpoena should be partially quashed or modified in accordance with the Constitution's speech and debate clause. The constitutional provision shields lawmakers from certain law enforcement actions in some scenarios. Graham had pointed to it in his challenge to the subpoena, which demanded he testify on Tuesday in front of the special grand jury in Fulton County in the Atlanta area. Yeah. The appeals court said that after that question is resolved, the matter will return back to the appeals court for further consideration. U.S. District Judge Lee Martin May ruled last week that Graham had to testify before the Fulton grand jury, investigating the former President Trump's effort to overturn the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. Graham had been attempting to quash the subpoena since it was issued in July, including asking May to put her ruling on hold, which she declined to do on Friday, and also filing an emergency request with the 11th Circuit. Fulton District Attorney Fannie Willis, a Democrat leading this investigation, said in a court filing that the grand jury needed to hear from Graham about at least 2 phone calls he placed in the wake of the 2020 election to Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger and his staff. Raffensperger, a Republican, told CNN in 2020 that Graham hinted that he should try to discard some Georgia ballots during a statewide audit. Yeah, I mean, like, even if this guy doesn't want to testify, or somehow by some miracle, some legal shenanigans, he doesn't end up needing to testify. I mean, I think that the evidence, regardless, is pretty strong here.
I think you're right.
The evidence, regardless, even if Lindsey Graham never testifies, at all, the evidence is there, right? Like, you've got a phone call from Trump to the Secretary of State. You have the Secretary of State making comments as well. I mean, Thinking Sabercat, how's it going? Have you seen that the Reinhards are not claiming climate change isn't real again? In the UK, Liz Truss, I have no idea who that is saying to cope with this spike in energy costs, that the UK dropped green taxes and environmental policy and focus on shale gas and oil. Yeah, that's horrible. Like, this is completely backwards, right? Because, like, if you're understanding that there's a problem with relying on a certain product, right? Why would you continue to push ahead when there are alternatives, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Furthermore, it is my understanding that the right's position on climate change is that it doesn't exist. So I don't know, like, did I miss something? So, like, yeah, this is a constant talking point I hear. It's not just in the UK, but a constant talking point that I hear is that this is why we need to go full speed ahead with oil because of rising gas prices or rising energy prices, which they try to somehow equate oil with energy, but that's not how that works. Oil doesn't always equal energy. Yesterday we had another comedy show with Mr. Pillow and his MAGA mates denying Joey's. Yeah, I know. That's not going away. Unfortunately, that's not going away. Liz Truss is possibly going to be the next UK Prime Minister. Oh, I see. Yikes. Cringe. Yeah, so as I was saying, like if you know that there's a certain thing that you need, but that certain thing is finite and it's also causing a lot of problems, but there's like several alternatives that you can use. Why would you continue to push full on ahead knowing that this product is more expensive and puts you more reliant? Like, isn't the whole like talking point to decouple yourself from Russia? So why would you push for more oil? Why would you push for more reliance on oil? Like, knowing that there's alternatives, knowing that renewable energy is not only cheaper but readily available. The answer is the complete opposite. Alio with the 10 biddies. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Lindsey Graham's attorney have argued that the South Carolina Republican should not be forced to testify before the grand jury because his actions were related to legislative activity as the then Senate Judiciary Committee chairman and should be protected under the Constitution's speech and debate clause. Senator Graham did not inject himself into Georgia's electoral process and never tried to alter the outcome of any election. The conversation was about absentee ballots and Georgia's procedure. But isn't that, in and of itself, injecting yourself into the electoral process? Because that's supposed to be handled by, like, the Georgia Board of Elections. So why would you... Unless this is, like, some question regarding, like, some federal thing. I don't understand why Lindsey Graham would need to question this. That doesn't make any sense. Often these days, the UK is getting more renewable energy than it can use, so they turn it off to run nuclear, gas, and coal. Wait, but if you have excess of renewable energy, why isn't that being exported? Wait, this doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. If you have an excess production of renewable energy, why not send that over? Why not? I don't know. It doesn't matter what they're using to get the energy though. Folks are just paying the price of what gas is anyways. Yeah. Because the Republicans and MAGA are not realizing the rest of the world is changing. But yeah, conservatives by definition oppose change. I see. Well, if the UK can do a national strike, I don't know what we're waiting on.
Hmm.
Basically, almost saying don't read so you won't research or study in history. Well, yeah, like by definition, conservatism means to not change. Conservatism means to oppose change. That's I mean, what else are you trying to conserve? We are on an island with just 5 links to the tip of the continent. We can't get the other Europeans to take it when we have the spare.
What?
So there's no way of like running the excess power out. Yikes. But like that still doesn't make sense though. Like if you have excess power, that means the island's being powered by renewables. Why would you need to why would you need to turn on the other sources if it's in excess? Is it because it's too much? I don't know how that works. You're gonna have to explain that one to me.
Oh no.
That's true. The UK absolutely does export energy. Yeah, okay, then that makes sense. Why are they not exporting the excess of renewables? If that's the case. If the scenario is we're producing too much energy from renewables, so therefore we need to shut the renewables off and turn on the other sources. Wait, why not just continue with the renewables and export the excess? Like what's if the UK absolutely has the ability to do this, then what is the holdup or what's the issue here? Is it some logistical issue? Is it some infrastructure issue? I was on strike yesterday. Nice.
Very cool.
The main link to France caught on fire months ago and it can't use it. Okay, but that means that you have the capabilities of doing it. The issue is fixing whatever infrastructure is currently not working right now. We have not yet nearly enough storage. Right, you don't need storage, you need to export it. The problem isn't the supply of energy, there's lots of energy to go around, but the problem is that no matter how that energy is generated, it's sold to suppliers at the price of the highest energy source at the time, which in this instance is gas, so you pay gas price regardless if your energy is gas, wind, coal, oil, or solar. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Hold on. Wait, who made this policy?
Huh? Sounds legit.
Wait, if we know, like, for a myriad of different reasons, we know that, like, wind and solar are possibly one of the cheapest sources.
Sounds legit.
Why is it being sold at the same price of a completely other product? Like, that doesn't even make sense in, like, the economic sense.
Makes perfect sense if you own a gas company.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. It just doesn't make any sense. So, like, okay. It's a sales system that has been in place since before renewable energy became a thing. and they've not adapted it to meet new sources. That is wild. That is completely that is a gross oversight on that policy. That is how energy is sold. They use the gigawatt hour of gas as a ruler to control the price. Yeah, but these aren't how are they not seeing this? Renewables have been a thing for what, years and years at this point? The possibility of renewables has been around for quite some time. How do they not see this? How do they not see this problem? You're comparing like completely different sources, completely different products essentially, and then saying like, yeah, these are the same. These should be sold at the same price.
Oh, that made it worse. Okay, that's better.
Renewables and nuclear make up half of the UK power, but a new market that cuts energy bills at the same time as decarbonizing the system is needed. Yeah. Not for the first time, global energy markets are in turmoil. Internationally traded gas prices more than quadrupled in 2021. In their wake, many energy suppliers have gone bust, and household bills across Europe are set to soar. Energy prices are driving up the cost of living and inflation. I thought it was government spending. Damn.
Wow, I guess we don't know anything.
Wow, that's wild to me. But this also is a moment to realize the old saying, never waste a good crisis. Some of the causes of sky-high energy bills are unavoidable. There's little that most governments can do about the wholesale price of gas itself. Fossil fuel companies have made huge investment that take years to mature, breeding periods of moderate prices followed by supply squeezes when prices rocket. Gas prices softened over the previous decade, and the arrival of the pandemic in 2020 depressed the demand. Regions without domestic gas supplies, which have depleted most of their gas reserves in recent decades, get a lot of their gas by importing it. European periphery countries, including the UK and many parts of the Mediterranean, assumed that they could only rely on global supplies of liquefied natural gas. The tankers from big gas producers such as Qatar can turn to Europe or Asia depending on who pays the highest price. Now there's a scramble in Asia, and Asian demand dominates. The knockoff effect to energy bills is amplified in the UK and other countries, where electricity is organized through wholesale markets in which generators bid to operate if the price is right, and which most homes rely on gas for heating. Average home energy bills in the UK, which rose to over 1,200 or 1,630 a year in 2021, are predicted to shoot up by 50% in 2022. Up to half of the rise will not come from gas you burn, but the impact of the gas on electricity prices. So why is a gas price crunch being felt just as strongly in electricity bills? After all, gas generates less than half of the electricity, under 40% in the UK and about 20% across the EU. Renewables generate over a quarter of the UK power, nuclear and imports another quarter. The cost generating power from wind and solar has tumbled over the past decade, globally falling by over 40% for onshore wind and by far more for solar and offshore wind. Okay. The last fixed price government contracts offered for offshore wind energy in Britain, hardly the cheapest of renewables, were under £5 per kilowatt hour. That's less than a quarter of the typical domestic tariff, what most people pay for electricity at home, that consumers are set to face in 2022. Households are paying for their electricity several times what it costs now to generate. This is wild. And this is all just a gross policy over failure. Yeah, I'm just reading through this, thinking Sabercat and James Napper. This is gross policy failure. The entire European market in gigawatt hours and the prices set at that. Yeah. This is wild to me. This is wild. So, like, you're shafting... Oh, hey, come back. Great, now I can't see the article.
Going
Okay.
down, fam. It's been nice working with you.
Did you make it? No?
I just exploded my ship.
So, like, you're shafting, like, the entire population from in the UK and, like, I guess in some other adjacent European countries because of bad policy. Because of bad policy. This is what Brexit created. Wow. And then, like, if you hear, like, the news, just like perusing the news, you would think that, like, that these gas prices just magically are rising.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. This is wild. So, like, yeah, they want to make it seem like this is like, oh no, wow, the gas prices are, so expensive. Energy prices are so expensive, and then try to like blame, renewables.
It's pretty funny, isn't it?
Yeah, we do have green energy levies on every unit of energy that is meant to build it's meant to build renewables, but the government steals it from us. This is a perfect example. Hey, come back. This is a perfect example of chickens coming home to roost. If you fail to fix problems when you have the safety and stability to do so, you risk making crises way more than when they do arrive. It should have been reformed like 20 years ago. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Like, the existence of renewables, the possibility of the existence of renewables has been around for a while now. Like, to think that this would...
That's okay.
this
I
is
think
wild.
the same old policy will work.
Yeah, just throw the same things.
Why would we need new rules when we have new options?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense, Carlos. Come on now.
Cuba's big fire has been contained, but Biden's Cuba policy remains a disaster. Jesus. Images of oil explosion that erupted in Cuban province of Matanzas on August 5th blazed out of control for the next 5 days made international headlines. Wow. When lightning struck an oil tank in Cuba's largest oil storage facility, it quickly exploded and began to spread to nearby tanks. At least 4 to 8 tanks have caught fire. Dozens of people have been hospitalized and over 120 have been reported injured. At least 14 firefighters have been reported missing and 1 confirmed dead. This disaster, the largest oil fire in Cuba's history, came at a dreadful moment, with Cuba already undergoing an energy crisis due to soaring global fuel costs as well as overexploited and obsolete infrastructure. Yeah, like, again, the equating of oil to energy is just like not a good rhetoric. Cubans are suffering from the result of ongoing energy crisis occurring in the middle of one of the hottest summers in record globally. Almost immediately, the Cuban government requested international assistance from other countries, particularly its neighbors that have experienced handling oil-related fires. Yeah, like, and this makes more of an argument to get away from oil. This is perfect. Yeah, the government is making a fortune off taxes and levies. And wait, levies? Is it levies or yeah, they will go into massive deficit if they don't charge them. My Cuban mother is upset and doesn't understand why the internet is not talking about this. Well, first of all, not everybody focuses on specific like countries. I'm sure that like some people talk about this. There's clearly articles on it. But yeah, like the takeaway from this article is we should probably stop sanctions. B, we should probably get humanitarian aid over there. And C, this only cements the argument to get away from oil. How horrible is that? One lightning strike and like your biggest oil storage facility is on freaking fire. ADT, good afternoon. How's it going, Maple Leaf Dragon?
Welcome. Love that username.
There's a video in Whispers that can explain exactly why the UK government is literally facing a crisis that could lead to martial law and people doing an energy strike and not pay for gas and water. Yikes. Well, I'm going to have to take a look at that in a bit after stream. But, I mean, so be it. So be it. And more disease from mosquitoes. Yeah. Which causes, I assume, exacerbating more issues. Exacerbating the issues here. Especially with, like, warm climate. That's going to be a problem. So, yeah, there's 3 things that need to happen on that front. I'm not, like, some foreign policy expert, but 3 things need to happen. A, these sanctions need to go. B, we need to get humanitarian aid to those people. And C, we need to invest and trade and give money and resources so that those folks don't rely on oil. They are setting up warm banks where old folks can go to stop freezing to death this winter. Jesus Christ. That is not good.
What?
The irony is that our rivers and sea turned brown this week as rain came and just ran off. Wow. What are we talking about today? We're talking about a lot of different things. I think the most interesting one is the possibility. I mean, if this is true, if this ends up happening, this would be wild. The possibility of England or the UK going on a complete national strike. The energy prices are so high in the UK that some schools are switching to a 3-day week due to an inability to power and heat the classrooms. That is wild. But, like, none of it is because of A, renewables, B, completely on the shoulders of this whole, like, Russia war. Not 100%. Like, I think that it does have an impact, but not like this. This is just massive policy failure. And now all the chickens come to roost because of the crisis of the whole war happened that kind of tipped it off over the edge. And now everybody's, surprise Pikachu face that you guys are about to unleash a national strike. It's the same with the pandemic. Right? Or I should say the domino effects of the pandemic, right? For decades, the way the economy and the system that's been running this has been teetering on the edge, and people knew this for decades. Policy failure to put in guardrails, to put in what's necessary, and then surprise Pikachu face when a crisis happens, like a pandemic that disrupts your entire economic system. Everybody here is scrambling. Lifting sanctions requires stating that you either made a mistake or that you have subjugated the sanction, which you think they will try to use. Otherwise, we have to admit we made a mistake. Ha! Yeah. Not happening. I'm just saying what should happen or what I would like to see. But that's wishful thinking, I should say. Which pandemic? The COVID? The news does not talk about that anymore. No, that's not true. There's articles still going on. Despite some people thinking that the pandemic has magically disappeared, it has not. There's a huge group of small industries. Oh, here we go. Sorry. There we go. There's a huge group of small industrial energy users who will have to close their businesses due to fuel prices. Places like food shops and factories. Yeah, but this is a gross policy failure. That's what it is. It doesn't have to be this way, right? You can justify some, problems because of the war in Ukraine. You can justify some of that. But based on what you two have told me, this is all on the government. UK inflation is now 10%. Oh, man.
Whoa.
And with me having to have my food intake and switch to cheap alternative food like cans of, I don't know what marrow fat peas are, but wow.
That's crazy.
This is breaking news. Let me see. Car blast kills daughter of Russian known as Putin's brain. The daughter of that influential guy. Okay, I see. The daughter of an influential Russian political theorist, often referred to as, quote, Putin's brain, was killed in a car bombing on the outskirts of Moscow. The Moscow branch of the Russian Investigative Committee said preliminary information indicated that the 29-year-old TV commentator Daria Dugina was killed by an explosive planted in the SUV as she was driving on Saturday night. Holy yikes. There's no immediate claim of responsibility, but the bloodshed gave rise to suspicions that the intended target was her father, Alexander Dugin, a nationalist philosopher and writer. Cringe. Dugin is a prominent proponent of the Russian world concept, a spiritual and political ideology that emphasizes traditional values. Oh, no, no, no. Restoration of Russia's power. No, 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 no. And the unity of all ethnic Russians throughout the world. Oh, man. Where have I seen this before?
Doesn't sound familiar, does it?
Where have I seen this before?
Oof.
Did you make it?
That's all I have to say about that is oof.
Oof, yeah, oof. So, the Russian world concept, a spiritual and political ideology that emphasizes traditional values, restoration of Russia's power, and unity of all ethnic Russians throughout the world. Oh man, this is some blood and soil shit. Holy crap. He is also a vehement supporter of Russia sending troops into Ukraine, of course. The explosion took place as his daughter was returning from a cultural festival she attended with him. Some Russian media reports cited witnesses saying that the SUV belonged to Dugin and that he decided at the last minute to travel in another vehicle. So it's probably safe to assume that the target was the dude and his daughter just got into the car. The vivid act of violence, unusual for Moscow, is likely to aggravate tensions between Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, oh yeah, I bet that Russia is immediately gonna blame this on Ukraine. Denis Pushilin, president of the separatist Donetsk People Republic, the pro-Moscow region that is a focus of Russia's fighting in Ukraine, blamed it on terrorists of the Ukrainian regime trying to kill Alexander Dugin. Oh yeah, they're pointing fingers at each other. That is very sensitive. Yikes. We'll see what happens. That does not look good.
Good.
I'm sort of lucky I live alone and don't drive a car, as I mostly stayed in the black in December, maybe debt-free for the first time in 7 years. Well, that's good. France energy prices has gone up for 4%, but the UK's 67%. That is just wild. That is just wild. Zeo Duke subscribing at a tier 1. They've subscribed for 17 months. 17
What?
months. That is wild. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that.
I love you, friend.
Look at the new setup now. Boom. Yeah, this is the comfy Sunday setup. This is our Sunday dress, okay?
That's right.
This is our Sunday dress. We're here to chill.
I got like no sleep last night, guys. Don't mind me. Be glad I'm awake. I almost didn't.
I think
wake up
prominent.
today.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, at least you can get sleep later, or go to sleep early again. Try.
Yeah, I'll try. That worked out really well for me last night.
Well, to be fair, last night was very stormy for you.
Oh God, it was bad.
Here, not a thing.
And what was so annoying is that at first it was like the power was blinking, so it wasn't staying off enough for the freaking generator to come on. So it would just flash and we'd just be here like, please just fucking go out already. Like, we don't care. Just go out. We have a generator. Just go out. Quit flashing though, because that's annoying.
Yeah.
And that really freaks Oreo out when the power flashes.
I
She's
saw.
terrified of thunder.
I saw a picture in the local group, I should say.
Uh-huh.
And there was like trees down and all kind of
Oh,
stuff.
it was bad.
So I assume that's what took out the power. Some trees maybe on the lines.
Probably it happens.
I think prominent Russia warmongers will be targets from now on. I have no idea. Still eating cold mushy peas isn't really what I call living, but existing is a better word for how I feel. That's wild. Gotta hang in there. The killing of the daughter may be a false flag operation. I have no idea. The facts on the ground are as follows. Apparently explosives were planted on this SUV that was supposed to be that dude's car, and it seemed to went off when the daughter took it. So clearly clearly what it seems is like that guy was the intended target, and yeah. We'll see what happens. That's a very sensitive situation.
That's what we call a yikes.
Yeah.
One more space battle today.
There's a good chance you aren't disposing of your... Oh, yeah, of course. You should never just throw away your batteries. At least if you have the ability, send it to or take it to a battery recycler. Please Google your local area. I think Best Buy sometimes takes batteries. I'm not sure. You'll have to check, honestly. You'll have to check. Really, you know that the war will be ending when Putin fires all his generals and takes over command, as he fired his top general 2 days ago. His top admiral 2 days ago. Oh, that's news to me. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know. This scenario kind of sketches me out. We'll see.
Not good.
Student loan announcement to come in the next week or so, as Education Secretary says ahead of deadline. The U.S. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona said on Sunday today that Americans can expect a decision from the Biden administration on student loans in the next week or so, as a pause on federal student loans is set to expire on August 31st. Wow, they're really going to wait till the last second, huh? All right. I mean, listen, if they end up doing this, great. But like, damn, where was this like a year ago, 2 years ago? Whatever. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. Listen, if they come out and say that we're going to eliminate 10K, 50K off the top of student loans, that is a big relief. Despite having the ability to probably do more, I have no idea what the extent of the executive power is, but we'll see. With some 10 days to go, Americans have been left guessing whether President Biden will extend the current moratorium or perhaps forgive some debt. They've been extending this like at least 3 or 4 times at this point, right? Just if we like, we've understood that it's been a while, okay? And all these lenders and all these lenders aren't going belly up because of this, right? We've put these payments on pause for quite a while now. We know they don't need it. It's going to be fine. We know that it's not going to cause some type of economic shake-up, only in the positive. Because now you've got a large swath of the population that has a lot less debt, if not no debt, when it comes to student loans, and are now able to be free to move more money around in the economy. So they should just go ahead and move forward with the student loan cancellation. I mean, there's no real reason why not to, you know. At this point in time, there's no good reason, no sufficient enough reason, to just not go forward with it right now. There's a strong underground movement in Russia who may see these events as necessary to stop the war. Maybe, but I don't know. Like, what if What if this only ends up escalating, right? Because like Russia's giving the rhetoric that it's blaming, Ukrainian terrorists or whatever. We have no idea. We don't know what's going on. But this might just escalate things instead of, you know, instead of stopping it. The final nail in the coffin of Russia's involvement in World War I was when the Tsar decided he'd go to the front, 35 miles from the front, and basically forced his 17th century army of people on horseback with swords against German machine guns, yikes, and landmines. Yes, but where do you get the money to cover student debt from? Taxes. Like, it's literally a delete button.
A lot of it is all pretend numbers that shouldn't have been in the first place anyways.
It's literally a delete button. So, think of it like this. If the government has been able to continuously push back this since probably how long has it been? Jesus. How long has it been for student loans? How long have they been paused? Just think of it as a permanent pause. How about that? Think of it as a permanent pause, okay?
A lot of the money that is for student loans anyways isn't even used to pay for your education.
Yeah.
It's stuff that the university divests into other interests.
Dude.
Like, private prisons.
Like, yeah, and like a lot of those like money that you have to pay when it comes to colleges and whatnot, because they're incentivized to literally charge you for everything and anything. Is parking is like $80 and like all these fees, and they're incentivized to just keep raising prices because the government will do things like grants, loans. There's also private student what are those things called? Scholarships and stuff like that. I heard the student loan interest is due to start up. Yes, it's due to start at the end of this month. So that's why they're thinking about taking some off the top, hopefully. The cut in the F-14 Raptors could cover a lot of things, really. A 5% cut in the military budget is at least $45 billion. Yeah, I know. As soon as the pause lifts, letters go out stating you owe $75,000 for your next payment in 7 days. Yep, I wouldn't be surprised. So why don't we just do this? Why don't we pause it permanently? How about that? How about them apples? All right? You just think about it this way. All right, listen. Student loans are now on pause for infinity. There you go. Problem solved. Yeah, if you just take 5% off the top of the military budget, you could probably make a huge dent, if not just cover education, right? I mean, even 10% off the military. You don't need $700-800 billion. None of that is going to be put to use fully. Anyways, priorities. If you can spend 700 something billion dollars, I'm pretty sure you could make some cuts somewhere.
Sounds unrealistic.
The problem with permanent pause is that it permanently nukes your credit rating. Oh, Jesus. That's an oversight on my part. Yeah, just cancel it. Just cancel it. Jesus Christ. Just cancel it. Press the delete button. Cancel it. Move on.
I think that kind of like the medical industry, it's all a scam.
I think so too.
I'm not saying that we don't need higher education, but I'm saying that the way that people have to sell their freaking souls, to be a member of society.
Right, but the problem is that, especially I think our generation was told that this is what you had to do, right? And in order for you to be successful, that's what you had to do. That's what we were told from very little. You had to get an education, you had to get a degree, you had to get the piece of paper with the thing, right? Because that's how you make it in life. That's what we were told from very young, at least a lot of us, right?
Yeah.
At least a lot of us. And then like it comes, we did the thing, and then reality hits, right? Then the real world happens, and the real world is that like it doesn't matter. Not that education doesn't matter, because education is incredibly important, but it's just the way it's done. And the fact that like they put all of that onto the shoulders of like people now, like millennials and whatnot, who are now hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, tens of thousands of dollars in debt for doing the right thing, like for doing the education, for wanting to be, a doctor, for wanting to be whatever it is that you graduated in, right? And it's like now you get messed up because of absolutely, yeah, exactly. If you don't go to college, you'll be flipping burgers or picking up trash. And like, okay, like that's assuming that yeah, that's like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Really, if you Google debt holiday, it was a reboot practice in the Middle Ages to delete unnecessary debt as a way to kill general debt and to spur economic. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that used to happen in the Middle Ages. That's right. Graduated last May. Congratulations. Not had to worry about my student loans, but now I'm worried that I have to pay and still trying to find work in the field. That's right. Which is like wild to me that that's even a thing. Like if you took the time and the resources to graduate and whatever it is that you graduated, like, man, that's messed up. My view is the most important education you can have is leading to plow out a field. What? And you don't even joke about the deal pilots have unless you're independently wealthy. It's an impossible grind. Yeah.
What happened to that dude? I think I lost a member of my crew. I did.
The most ingenious way to keep the system going was to start people off in debt. They even mentioned student debt on the new series of Marvel's Ally McBeal, aka She-Hulk Attorney at Law. I need to watch that.
I know, I'm getting ready to watch it too.
Yeah, I need to watch the thing. A lot of people got big mad, okay? And by a lot of people, I mean conservatives got big mad. Big mad.
About what?
About She-Hulk.
Why?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense, because like a lot of people, especially in the comments, they're like, why is there a She-Hulk? Bro, She-Hulk has been a thing since like before you were born. Relax. Single female lawyer doing it all for mutant kind. Oh, you know what? I bet you if I go into the Quartering's YouTube channel, there's gonna be a video about this. Oh, there. Damn. 1 day ago.
What?
This guy put out a video. Maximum cringe, mother of God, She-Hulk was so much worse than expected. Wait, what? And gets roasted as online as reviews tank.
bizarre.
The quartering was going a bit insane last week, claiming that Jeff Bezos is angry about the Lord of the Rings show, and I watched a video and no actual quotes about what the billionaire owner thinks. Yeah, probably not. The quartering just lies and lazy content. I don't know why people watch this guy. Why not have the student debt be reduced over time and as the student works separate from the president's paycheck, for example? If you work full-time for a year, reduce the debt by 10% or something, and then after many years, if you saved up and want to pay off the balance, then you're able. Yeah, I mean, like, that's a way that you can do it. But, I mean, if you have the option, especially, like, if you have the legislative option to just kind of like, do a debt jubilee, student loans and medical debt should just go poof, gone. Anything that involves student loans, like education and healthcare debt, like that shouldn't be a thing. That should have never been a thing to begin with. So if there is a legislative tool, which I believe there may be something that the executive can do, then that's what they should do, right? Just poof, whatever they can, as much as they can, if possible, right? I don't know the extent of the power of the executive here, but there's indication that he can do something. That's why Joe Biden's like thinking about it. That's called the Jubilee. Yeah, debt Jubilee. Just drop interest. Shouldn't have interest. People pay off their loans, but still paying off because of interest. Yeah, there's people who've paid off their loans like multiple times, but because of interest, like they just are in perpetual debt. They're literally perpetually spinning the hamster wheel.
How else do you think a lot of these people who have money have money?
Yeah, that's true. But like, yeah, if you have the ability to just like get rid of the debt, just do that. Otherwise, then yeah, I would turn to some of these solutions. Either get rid of the interest, maybe you reduce the amount of debt by a percentage, whatever it is. Over here, there's a time limit, so it doesn't just sit here for infinity. I think we have something similar after 20 years or something like that. If I was gonna scrap the debt, I just put forward a date timer on the debt for 1 year from now with the incentive. The more you pay off on your debt in that year, the more you get as a tax break or rebate the year after. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that would end up working.
Work for most people.
Like, if you have the ability, just get rid of the debt. Just make it go away. Poof.
You like what I named my ship?
The Explorable? Exploradora? The Exploradora. Exploradora.
Sorry, I can't help myself.
The more you pay, the more you get back. Just charge less to start. Yeah.
Right, because, you know, we totally get to choose how much education costs.
I think it should just be poof. It should just go away. But, you know, I know that the circumstances may not allow for that, but we'll see. We'll see what we'll see what Joe Biden does. Student loans are the one debt that doesn't ever sunset or clear if you declare bankruptcy. I wonder who did that. I wonder whose bright idea was that. I wonder whose bright idea was that.
Question.
Well, there were several folks who thought this was a good idea, but you know, one particular name comes to mind.
This one. Sad. It's freaking sad.
That's annoying. That's aggravating. You have people like literally studying for years at a time, trying to learn or be some, in their, to be somebody, a doctor, maybe a mental health professional, whatever it is that they want to be, and like to start life at like hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe dedicate like 8 years of their life to get a master's in whatever it is, right?
Yep.
And like now they're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Like that's just wild to me. In the UK, the universities are asking to increase their annual fees to 24 from present 9k. What? 9k a year? Dude, that's a semester here. But 24k a year is closer to... No, it's still cheaper than us, I think. GI Bill 2 is needed as both the UK and US and the US have brain drain. Problem with the UK in such trouble. There's now now they're trying to get people with experience to come out of retirement. Yikes.
That's bullshit.
Oh, it's 9K for domestic students, 20 to 30 for international students already. Sheesh. I mean, 20 to 30 is... I want to say it's still cheaper than what it is here, right? Or am I free in Scotland too. Nice. I would like to get my master's degree one day, but money and costs, yeah. Maybe it shouldn't cost. Maybe we could get some of that fancy military spending.
Pay it off after you graduate and actually are part of the workforce.
Yeah.
At a reasonable rate, and not be charged freaking $300,000 for $50,000 worth of education.
Right, and like, oh man, that's so messed up. You're right, and the thing is, like, even when you do all these things, right? You do your thing, you get your master's, you're ready to go, and then like they'll say some bullshit like, oh, sorry, starting rate is like $15 or starting rate is like $20, starting rate is like 25. Bro, I got a master's degree. What are you talking about? Can you imagine if you dedicated like 8 years of your life to learn a trade, and then like you go into your like trade center, trade place, and they're like, yeah, $15 an hour.
Yeah,
you'll be like, what? Bro, give me my tools. I'm out of here. Like, that's a slap in the face. Like, you took 8 years to be like a master at your craft, at your trade, and like they'll tell you like some BS like that. No way. You would never. That would never be acceptable. And it's not. Most trade jobs are union jobs, but that's another point. But yeah, like you'll have kids or young folks who have graduated, masters, top of their class, ready to go, brilliant, and like, yeah, they'll get slapped with like, yeah, we'll hire you at like $15 an hour, $20, $25. Bro. Teachers, yeah, exactly.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I got my degree when I had a full-time job and had to pay the courses 200 miles. And I had to pay for the courses 200 miles a week of driving. Sheesh.
Wow.
Yeah, look at the teachers. That happens in IT. I bet. That happens in a lot of fields. You dedicate years to this education. So not only do you get like entry level positions, entry that's how they name it, entry level positions starting at like garbage pay for the for the education, and then on top of that you're saddled with all this debt. Cool. Nice. Explain to me how that makes sense. Did you see the Yikes story about the Trans Lifeline? A phone system similar to the Samaritan, but the two owners were misappropriating charity money to have a jet-style life a jet set lifestyle and build a compound in California desert. Wow. Damn, that's sad. That's some messed up stuff. That's messed up. Taking fucking money from people, like you're trying to do, like you're taking money from people who think that they're doing the right thing, or people who think that they're donating to a good cause, and then like you just steal all the money and like go on private jets and build compounds in the middle of California desert. Nice. What a bunch of jackasses. People that run charities these days are rarely from that charity's grassroots and are just Mercedes driving corporate ghouls squeezing it out like any other business. Yeah, that's jeez. That's gross. I know that some people do good. I know that some people are trying to do the right thing. But most of that, most of that involves like grassroots like fundraising. Um not like these folks. Nah, not even close, Cosmic Seeking. Cuz like the people that are donating to Trump, they're doing it because they know, you know. Is there a citation to this? Because Trans Life has been around for a while. It's a suicide prevention hotline, and there's been a number of streamers involved with it. Well, we can look it up. It's a trans-led organization that connects trans people to the community support and resources that they need. Okay, so it's founded by 2 people. Wait, now hold on. Upon discovery of unauthorized purchases totaling $353,703 by 2 officers of the organization that occurred in 2017, Trans Lifeline has removed these officers from having access to the bank accounts and assets. Stop it. Okay, so I'm getting conflicting information here. This seemed to have happened A, years ago, B, not the actual founders. So I'm getting a bunch of conflicting information. What it does, show is that I think the actual embezzlement or money theft happened, but it wasn't the actual people. It wasn't the actual founders. Hey, ADT crew, how are you doing? I'll be here chilling with you. Thank you. How's it going? I think it was someone called Greta. Literally was looking up stuff about Jimmy Swagger in the video, then played on the trans. Yeah, on the trans lifeline. I don't think they did any shenanigans. I think it was somebody or some bodies within that organization, and they were cut off, terminated, or removed. This happened a couple of years ago. As many as you already know. Yeah, and this is also like based on a Reddit post. Yeah, I'm getting conflicting information. Yeah, this is all based on, I don't know, I don't see... I don't see any reason to think that this actually happened. Embezzlement found so much fun though, or tasty. It was kind of shocked that a charity which was supposed to be there for people in distress was doing expensive scam. Yeah, but I don't think that happened, my friend. Or at least not the way that it's being explained to me. I'm not convinced that that's the case. Not 100%. So far, Trans Lifeline as a charity has a overwhelming confidence score of 78. Of 78 with finance and accountability, leadership and adaptability 100%. Yeah. So based on like charity evaluations, I don't see... I don't know. I'm getting conflicting stories. So I'm gonna say that it's the internet, and I'm not about to just... Yeah, I'm not about to just say that happened for sure. The most I could find is like Reddit posts and Twitter threads, none of which are evidence to me. Yeah, I'm not buying it, thinking Sabercat. Trans Lifeline has been around for a while. It's a suicide prevention hotline. There's been a number of streamers involved with it. I didn't know streamers were working with them. Yeah, I'm seeing mostly like... Man. Mostly like just normal stuff here. I think it's someone called Greta. Yeah, those are the founders. Your American electoral system shows the way of grifting and cash gouging. True. Donate to my legal fund. They're trying to steal your rights. Donald Trump.
No.
Donate to the billionaire oligarch so that he can protect your rights.
I can't.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. Not convinced.
That's something, isn't it, Carlos?
Yeah. Irony.
Wow. I just don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, this is why you check your stories, folks. The electoral system works, otherwise Trump and Dow would try to own it. Well, the electoral system barely hanged on, okay? That's the reality of it. The electoral system barely hanged on. Um
Crazy.
yeah, the electoral system barely hanged on because like luck. Sometimes the expenses is like an unofficial way of having the main pay be low, but pretty flexible for policies on what counts as expenses. To be fair, I'm paying politicians like 10 times what they're getting. I'm for paying politicians like 10 times what they're getting. Even the Souza barely talks about it. I don't know what he's up to nowadays. I haven't checked in with our friend in a while. He hasn't come up on my radar. Well, the alternative to democracy people have an experience and thought I like going down to Cuba, but I never want to live under a communist system. I think what you mean is authoritarianism. Because let's face it, they're making most of their money in deals and stuff, and that should end. Yeah, that should end. I don't want having high officials having a high official pay might be a bad look, but don't want them to have cheap or bribable politicians. Yeah, but like the thing is, like I agree with you, but these people make like six figures, right? 170. The average congressperson makes $175,000 a year.
Wow.
I think that's
That's
pretty decent.
decent.
Yeah, I think that's pretty decent. And then, and like on top of that, they still engage in like overt corruption. And like a lot of these people, even then, like a lot of these people come into office already being wealthy, right? They're already being wealthy, so they're just adding to that. Thank you for the follow, leftist. And Lindell has another voter machine marathon with Jen Ellis on Lindell's network. Yeah, I mean, this guy's on the cusp of losing $1 billion lawsuit. And then someone can come along and give them 1 million, and if they get their bill passed or carved out and added, it's not a great value. Yeah, but like a lot of these people are uber rich already. Like, I don't know. I think that like I understand, and I agree with you. Right? You need to make sure that politicians are paid good, so that bribery is like less of a thing, or less likely. But you also, I think, the focus should be on guardrails. Right? Make it illegal for politicians to engage in the stock market. Period. Like in any way, shape, or form, you just cannot have investments in the stock market. Period. Even if you report it, even if you have like it all perfect on paper, it doesn't matter. if you're an elected official of Congress, of state and federal, you know, at the state or federal level, you cannot engage in any type of investment or anything like that. It's just, you can't. No, not at all. Nothing. No stocks, nothing. That would be one way to do it. The main reason for reasonable pay, in my opinion, is to make it accessible to non-rich people. Yeah, that's exactly it. Sadly, how to fix money politicians make when they usually vote their own raises. Yeah, so take that away too. Really, if you want good governance, then you should link pay to achievements. It's really been exposed by the UK Conservative Party in the last few years that they lie, and if their pay was linked to performance, then it would encourage them to do their jobs instead of U-turns and then lying about the U-turn. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the way I would do it. I don't even know if that's the way I would do it, because how do you measure that? Yeah, exactly. How do you measure performance? Yeah, there we go. It really should be like, okay, the pay for politicians should be at a good rate, enough for, them to be good. And that's it. You can't engage in the stock market. You can't engage in any private dealings whatsoever. You're also banned from being a lobbyist for the next 30, 50 years. You can't be a lobbyist forever. And you can't accept certain. I think that you can't accept positions at private companies that you had dealings with or something like that. I don't know. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is you need more guardrails. KTS Shine, how's it going? The corruption is somewhat necessary because the election cycle literally never ends. These election cycles need to be funded continuously, and if you do it legitimately, you spend 70 to 80% of your time dialing for dollars. Corruption is easier and less time intensive. That's true. Like, you could do a combination of, like... You could do a combination of, like, guardrails where you can't be allowed to engage in the stock market, and guardrails where you have either public funding of elections or you make elections longer span. In construction especially, there's performance. Yeah, but this isn't construction. This says no. But sadly, who would rule on that? The state and SCOTUS. It would be federal legislation. It would have to be federal. It would have to be federal legislation where Congress decides that they're going to do the right thing, and basically put these guardrails in. Yeah, and no revolving door BS. That's right. So, like, you can put guardrails so that elected officials are less likely to engage in this, right? I mean, you're never going to stomp out corruption 100%, but you can put things in place to make it less likely. I think, like, a huge step forward would be to essentially ban any type of stock market or any type of stock market engagement. Campaign for election should only be restricted to no more than 3 to 4 months before election day. There you go. My advice is if you watch the amazing Disney Plus documentary series on industrial light and magic, George Lucas' structure of work is really how government should work with the expertise, not glib tongues being the way to get the job done. You mean like hire experts? I mean, yeah. Let's be honest, the horse is out of the stable and it isn't coming back. I have no idea.
Oh.
I don't know, man. Most voters don't really care about performance. True. There's ways to find the performance of politicians right now, and people actively either ignore them or cite them when it helps their pick. Low-informed voters don't know their performance. High-informed voters frame performance. There's no good answer, but there's a lot of perpetual bad electoral outcomes. True. That is very true. But this is what we have. This is what we have, and, well, we play with the cards we're dealt. We play with the cards that we're dealt.
Either that or you set them all on fire.
Either that or you set your cards on fire. Oh,
I mean,
man.
where's the lie, though?
George Lucas for president? No. No more. Yeah, apathetic voters don't vote. Apathetic voters don't vote. But that's because, well, government's effing up. Government's effing up. Leadership is nowhere to be found. The reality is, if you want people to show up, you gotta give people something to vote for, right?
Yeah, they'll just show up. There's nothing better to do.
There's nothing better to do. I had to go in person when I voted because there's a serious problem with the mail in South Florida. I do not doubt it. I'm being wowed by NSF Live. The James Webb Space Telescope? Free tickets to Skywalker Ranch. No, that's not gonna get me to vote for more wealthy people in power. I had to go in person when I voted. Yeah. I mean, if you can, you should. If you can. Or drop off your mail-in ballot really quickly. Nor do I think that Bernie Sanders would be inclined to have yet another, like, very, very wealthy, powerful person, too. Like, can we get normal candidates, please? Candidates who can relate to the working class? You know what's weird? When I talk to people that are extremely knowledgeable and see the flaws in our two-party system, but then declare Republicans as the solution, I see it more. Wait, what? How did we get to that conclusion? You're gonna have to explain. You're gonna have to walk me through that one.
Yeah, what?
I didn't get my mail-in ballot, and none of my neighbors did. Yikes! George Lucas is actually more lefty than Sanders. I don't know George Lucas's politics. I'm just saying that, like, I'm skeptical. advocating for like more wealthy people. Yeah, generic generic really smart progressive person for president in 2024. There you go. There you go. Did you hear the NBA won't play on election day? Nice. I'm really smart. There you go. But I'm not generic. NBA won't host games on election day based.
It's all part of the plan.
That's what I'm saying. There are smart people that see the flaws in Democrats but praise Republicans that have those same flaws on steroids. Yeah, but how do you get to that conclusion though, right? Like, just because yeah, sure, we can make and we can sit here talking about like the numerous ways that the Democrats suck. But like, how did you get to the conclusion that then the Republicans are the answer? Like, how did you get there? Like, or rather, I should ask, how did that person get there? That that told this to you. Check out the whispers or Lucas paid for cheap housing for the poor. That's great. I that's great, but I would argue that we shouldn't rely on people like George Lucas to pay for cheap housing for the poor. I think it should just be yeah, that's what kills me. Like, yeah, I don't know how the logic does not compute. The logic does not compute. The NBA won't host games on election day this year in an effort to increase voter turnout. The decision came out to the NBA's family focus. Oh no. Nah, he can't. He's got like little legs, so I just kind of leaned him on the back. Oh, there you go. Pick up his little buddy. There you go.
One of us is better at balancing shit.
Playing Jenga?
By the way, we should play that today. I haven't
God.
played that in a while.
The decision came out of the NBA's families focused on promoting nonpartisan civic engagement and encouraging fans to make a plan to vote during midterms. Nice. Maybe we need more normal people to serve in Congress part-time for just 1 to 2 terms. Yeah. Do you mean like more like working class people or people that are closer to the working class? Yeah, I agree with you. Also, Star Wars 1 to 3 is a massive critique of the far right and the war on terror. The original Star Wars, yes. The original trilogy, yes. But I don't think you're making the points that you think you are.
It's funny when that happens, isn't it?
People don't really want to do it. Yeah, sure, but like I don't know. No, I disagree. I want people who really want to be there and really want to do the work for people by people. Like, that's the whole point of a representative democracy, or at least the idea, right? Um, the idea is, if we send this person, they're supposed to represent us, right? They want to represent us. Like, they need to be there for us. If we're gonna if we're gonna have a functioning system the way it is right now. Let me rephrase: people who don't want to do it. I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, meaning people who don't want power. Oh, who don't want to do it as a career? No. I disagree. No, they have to want to be there. More teachers in Congress. There you go. Natural leaders, good public speakers, close to the people, in favor of unions and better pay. I don't see a downside. There you go. I love laws written by people who are like, F it, I just want to get out of here. Yeah, like we have now? No. I wonder what type of government exists in Star Wars now that the Emperor is dead for the second time. I have no idea. Wait, but they can't have two full-time jobs, or I suppose they can't. Yeah, like no. The people that need to be there, ideally, want to be there, B, are qualified, and C, are receptive to the needs of the people. Originally, the U.S. Constitution was state how started. It was part-time work, but after 220 years in lobbying, lack of rules. Yeah, but no, I don't know if I want it to be part-time job, or if it is, you can't have an. I don't know. I'm not. That's how EU Commission law make. That's how EU Commission lawmaking works. Just a one mega. No one can leave until we decide situation. I wouldn't be opposed to that. No one can leave for recess, or no one can leave for vacation until we figure this out. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a good idea. I don't have an answer. I'll just stick to pointing out the obvious liars. No, yeah. I mean, yes, you can do that, but like there's got to be solutions attached to it, yeah? Like, the one thing that comes to mind is just putting more guardrails. An example would be either limiting the way terms are done, limiting campaigning, moving campaign financing to public, to make it public, removing the ability for Congress people to be able to invest in the stock market. I mean, like, things like this do help. But then, of course, the problem becomes, well, how does that happen? When all of Congress has their hands in the cookie jar, that's, the stock market thing is, like, one of the most obvious to me. Yeah. That's, like, one of the things that if you were to do, it would be that. Just make them, any, like, elected official from, like, state or federal, just not be able to invest in the stock market. Because the type of people who want to serve are invested in human. Wait, because the type of people who want to serve are invested in human capital, not capital. Well, they should be. In other words, they should be caring. If I understand you correctly, they should be caring about the people. They should be caring about doing the most amount of good for the most amount of people, the constituency. That's what they need to be worrying about. All right, enjoy the rest of the fun day. Peace. Thank you for stopping by, KTS. Appreciate that.
We appreciate you, fam.
Yes, the type of people we think should want to serve. Yes, those are the people that should be there, ideally. But a major part of money in your politics is lobbying and special interest funding. Yeah. We need a system to enable normal people to represent normal people and not this elite class of connected rich people that are approved by the other rich connected people. Yeah, because it takes a lot of money to even run, and that should not be a thing. Which Cosmic Seeking says, yeah, lobbying and special interest funding, which should not be a thing. You can probably limit that, or at least attempt to solve that by having like public funding of elections. That's one way of doing it. Yes, we need a system that redresses the balance away from those who have already power, connections, image, and money. Yeah, sure. I agree. The heck? It's not 100% corruption, but almost all jobs have a negative and useless corruptible side to it. Well, in Congress, yeah. There's also corrupt dealing and nepotism. Yeah, all of that can be solved by doing these steps, essentially. A, yeah, take away the ability for these people to be able to invest in the stock market. Take away the ability, essentially make it so that normal people can run by changing our system to be publicly funding elections, and reduce the campaign time. And you can reduce, if not outright, stop lobbying as a concept too. All right, folks. It is past 3:40.
Is it really?
Yeah. All the bad things. That's right. Just get rid of all the bad things. Any politician who swears that their own children are blind trust they're lying. Oh yeah, 100%. Who oversees the overseers? Well, that's what democracy is supposed to solve, right? That's the idea. That's true. There's also high-paying fake jobs that they leave after power, or lobbying. They just become lobbyists themselves. Just outlaw that. Who oversees the overseers? Well, that's the point of democracy, right? That's the whole idea. Until the next one, thanks.
We appreciate you
Thank
guys.
you for hanging out. I appreciate that. Folks, we do have to get going.
We
If you
have
guys enjoy
a,
the content, don't forget to hit the follow button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the YouTubes.
we have a
take
little
5
bit of a
seconds.
mission to attempt, don't we?
Yeah. If you guys want to keep up with the channel, join the Discord. Nice seeing you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you for the subs.
Thank
I
you
appreciate that.
all.
Thank you for the follows. I appreciate that. Echo Wrestle Dragon. I appreciate you hanging out. Folks, as always, don't forget, join us Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us Sundays for Sunday Fundays. Don't
That's
forget
right.
that.
Next weekend we'll try and get the screen sharing up.
Yeah, we'll try to do something a little different. All right, folks, as always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. We love y'all, and we
Y'all.
hope to see you guys
In the next one.
See ya.
Bye.